Good day, everybody. Good day. Good day. I hope you're doing well, Nancy. It's good to see you. Yabba dabba do to you too, Wayne. It's good to see you. It's good everyone is joining in. So welcome, y'all, to Morning Sip with Rev Melissa. And I am Rev Melissa. And Sip is spirit in practice. Spirit in practice. So I hope everyone is doing well on this wonderful Thursday, Tim. I hope it's all going good. Howdy, Nan, to you too. Yes. So here we are, y'all. We are in our trans series and we're taking a deeper dive with transformation. And this week we've been exploring the 5 principles of transformation according to Nardia Joy. And so I shared that I discovered her while I was doing a Google on transformation, and the joy, the name caught me. It got me. So there we go. So I ended yesterday's show by asking, can anyone guess what the 4th principle of transformation is? So we've gone through self-awareness, right? Which is focusing on yourself and being grounded in reality with a capital R, right? And then 2 was ownership and responsibility. And that's all about, possession and management. You need to manage yourself, right? And be responsible, able to respond. Yes. And owning it, owning your stuff, right? Don't put it on anybody else. Put it on yourself, right? With love, right? With love and kindness, with the intention to see what is there for you. Yes. And then 3, yesterday we talked about acceptance, which is a conscious choice to drop all forms of resistance, right? We're making a conscious choice to drop all forms of resistance to whatever has come present in the moment. And resistance is a powerful energy, right? Because it could stop everything right in its tracks. And you find yourself stuck, or you find yourself repeating a pattern, right? Because there is something there that you have not accepted as is, right? Somehow you want it to be different. Right. And so I often quote, when I talk about resistance, I often quote Star Trek, the Borg, when they told the Enterprise, resistance is futile. Resistance is futile. And the resistance that gets me to check myself is what I say about procrastination. That procrastination, I got tongue tied. Procrastination is a form of resistance, right? Resistance is procrastination, right? Because what do we know about procrastination? It's a consciousness of delay. Again, slowing things down because we have not accepted something. We haven't accepted that we can do what we need to do, right? We haven't accepted that we have all the resources that we need. And so we get stuck, for example. So let's see. Oh, no one's put anything in the comments that I see yet for what is principle 4 of transformation. And I know there's a lag, but I'm going to keep it going, y'all. I'm going to keep it going. So the number 4 principle of transformation is, I'm stalling just to see if anyone's going to guess. All right. All right, y'all. It is, Lindsay's saying right effort, right effort. Okay. I like that, Lindsay. I like that. Right effort. Yes, you do need right effort. Let's call that principle number 6. So principle number 4 is forgiveness. For transformation to take place, there may be some forgiveness that needs to happen, right? So let's dig into forgiveness. And so last year I did a whole series on forgiveness. It was called the Radical Forgiveness. We did a whole radical series last June. So if you want to get more into it, please check that out. It's the Radical series. It was last June, towards the end of June. So this is the definition. So I looked in the dictionary, and the dictionary often does this, right? So I looked up the word forgiveness, and it said the definition is to forgive. I said, dictionary, that's just being lazy. You are just being lazy right there. So I looked up the word for and give. And for is the purpose of, and give is to apply fully and freely. So forgiveness, the purpose of forgiveness is to free yourself. Let's just put it in shorthand. It's to free yourself, right? So I want to share the definition that Radical Forgiveness, the book Radical Forgiveness, gives for forgiveness. So I often recommend books, but if you are doing forgiveness work, this book, Radical Forgiveness, you need to have in your library. It is amazing. It is transformational, right? It is transformational. So this is what Colin C. Tippin says about radical forgiveness. He says, just being willing to, nope, that's not it. Hold on. Here we go. He says, radical forgiveness frees us from everything. Radical forgiveness challenges us to radically shift our perception of the world and our interpretations of what happens to us in our lives so that we can stop being a victim. So radical forgiveness, an essence, a principle in forgiveness is a willingness to shift our perception, to shift it, right? And who wants to do that? When you're upset, when you're feeling hurt and you're in pain, the first thing that comes to your mind is not, oh, let me look at this in another way, right? Oh, let me see what's here for me, right? Oh, I know this is happening for my highest good. That's not usually an instant thought that comes to mind, right? We usually go into the pain or the resentment or the anger or the hurt, right? We usually go there first. And I think it's healthy to go there if that is what's present for you, because what we don't want to do is what is often called a spiritual bypass, bypassing what we are truly feeling in the moment, to honor our feelings. Why is it important to honor our feelings? It's important to honor our feelings because our feelings are informational. They contain information that we can use. Our emotions are powerful tools for us to tap into. Okay. So forgiveness, therefore, is a skill. And a skill is something that you can practice, right? So we can practice forgiveness. So I want to read something else, what I was getting ready to read about willingness and forgiveness. Just being willing to entertain the idea that something else is going on is a giant step forward. In fact, the willingness to see the situation differently is the key to your healing. 90% of the healing occurs when you become willing to let in the idea that your soul has lovingly created the situation for you. In becoming willing, you let go of control and surrender it to God. God takes care of the other 10%. If you can really understand at a deep level and surrender to the idea that God will handle this for you, if you turn it over, you won't need to do anything at all. The situation and your healing will get handled automatically. Now, that takes some faith and courage, right? To step into the willingness to the possibility that this is happening for me, right? That there is something here for me. If I could just see it with my spiritual eyes, right? If I could surrender it, to the universe, right? To know that there is something up for me to heal. There's something up for me to heal. All right. So, what happens when we're in resistance to forgiveness, right? So, all of the principles that we talked about so far are great companions to forgiveness, right? Aren't they? Self-awareness, ownership and responsibility, acceptance. We need all of those for forgiveness, right? Yes, we do. We do. Because unforgiveness, what does unforgiveness breed? Unforgiveness breeds resentment. It breeds resentment. And the thing about resentment, the energy of resentment is past. It's in the past, right? So forgiveness is letting go of the hope that the past would be different, is another thing that Colin Tippin says in his book. I'm going to say that again. Forgiveness is letting go of the hope that the past would be different. There's nothing we can change in the past. It passed. It's over. And if we keep holding on, I find myself doing this from time to time, right? Regurgitating what happened, going into my imagination and saying, oh, I should have said this and I should have said that. I should have done this. Recreating the whole scenario over and over and over again, right? Yes, Nancy, unforgiveness keeps us trapped and it hurts us. Yes, it does. Because in that regurgitating, in that reimagining, right, I'm also in the feeling tone of it. And usually when something happens that triggers the opportunity and the practice to forgive, it's usually a feeling in the moment that does not feel good, right? So why keep going back, right? Why keep going back to that feeling? So I submit that the purpose is to recognize that there is something here for you. There's something here for you to forgive. It may be simply to forgive yourself. Just to forgive yourself. To see yourself in another light. To shift your perception of yourself. To be willing to apply forgiveness and loving and kindness to yourself for whatever misstep you did, whatever your error in thinking was, right? We don't have to carry it forward. We don't have to carry it forward. So resentment only lives in the past. And where are we right now? We are in the present. We are in the present. So when you find yourself going over and over and over some story, present yourself. Apply your present self, right? Use your present self to minister to that self that's in the past, that's holding on to it. And see what's there for you. So forgiveness requires being present and the willingness to accept the present, the gift. Yes? The willingness to accept the gift from that person. if it's with another person that you need to forgive. Because you know what? The bottom line is that we attract people into our lives so that we can heal stuff. That's why we need each other, among other reasons, but that's one of them. That is one of them. We get triggered by a situation with a person, right? And we want to apply the situation to them, but that is not the correct application. There is something deeper that is seeking to be healed, right? I often say, peel back the feeling, peel back the feeling, and you will discover that you have felt this way before, right? Go back as far as you can, usually to when you were a child, right? When you first felt that feeling. And that person, present day, we call it the soul's agreement, right? The souls agreed to heal, to support your healing, right? And I know that might seem like a lot. That might seem like a stretch. Like, what you talking about, Rev Melissa? Are you telling me this man hurt me because our souls agreed? Yes, that's what I'm saying. Our souls agreed. Our souls agreed that he would trigger the limiting belief of unworthiness so that I can heal it. So that I could heal it. So that I could transform. So I could transform that limiting belief to I am worthy. I am lovable. I am enough. I am safe. Whatever it might be for you. So when we're able to do that, when we're able to go through the stages of forgiveness, a radical forgiveness, how do we know that we have forgiven? We know that we have forgiven because the transformation indicates that there is nothing to forgive. The I forgive you transforms to thank you. Thank you. Thank you for supporting my spiritual growth. Thank you for helping me, supporting me in transforming this limiting belief I had about myself. Now, that doesn't mean you got to keep this person in your life forever. No, it doesn't mean that either. Right? It simply means that there is something there for you. And it came packaged in this person. Right? It came packaged in this person. So let's check in. Is there any resentment, pain, hurt, disappointment that you're holding in your body, in your mind, in your consciousness? Are you willing? Do you have a willingness to forgive, to release it? Just takes the willingness to start. So if you need support, and oftentimes we need support with forgiveness work, I am here to support you. I highly recommend the book, Radical Forgiveness. He has a lot of tools that you can use. He has a radical forgiveness worksheet that you can use. Just go to radicalforgiveness.com. You could download it, and he walks you through each step, right? And I am here. You could reach out and we could set up some time to do some forgiveness work with each other. All right? All right. All right. So just reach out. I am Rev Melissa, Facebook, Instagram, and we could set up some time to talk. All right, y'all. So that is principle 4 in the 5 principles of transformation. So I'm going to put it out there again. What's number 5? So tomorrow we're doing the 5th principle of transformation. And that will wrap up our trans series, I believe. I believe it will. All right, y'all. So what are we doing? If you want to live life in joy connected to your yes, and you have unforgiveness work to do, guess what? You're clogging up the flow. You're clogging up the flow to your yes. You're clogging it up. So we got to clear it out. If things seem like they have slowed down in your life, check in to see if there is something or someone or yourself that you need to forgive, right? So that we can open up that flow again. We can open up the flow. All right, y'all. So let's get into some joy news. All right. This Sunday, y'all, living life in joy, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. The guest host is our very own Sekou Wrights. So please come and check him out. It's going to be a wonderful show. There he is. I love it, Sekou. I'm going to be away for a little bit. So next week we'll be having sip on location, which I love. You know, I love an on location sip. So, but tune in on Sunday, Living Life in Joy with Sekou. Our next meditation with the moon, the new moon, is August 9th at 4 a.m. Eastern Time, right here on New Thought Media Network. So please join me for that. We have an after party on Zoom so we can fellowship with each other, share, and just have a good time. So please mark your calendars for that. All right. I think that's all the joy news I have to share right now. Let me check in with Sekou, see how he's doing. How we doing with everything, with the charity run, people sending their money? What's going on?
Yeah, I got a few more ducats last night. So we got 8 people who have put in their money out of 18. So the 10 of y'all that are still out there, come on now, let's make it happen. So I'm at 63 and a half miles. Clearly I'm going to get to 65. That means I'm at 125 miles thus far for 2 months, which is crazy. And I put out an all call for a solidarity. I shouldn't even call it a run, a show of solidarity for Saturday. Because Saturday will be the final day, my mile 127 overall. So I'm asking folks to join me in solidarity, do your walk, your run, your stroll, your roll, whatever you're going to do. And if you post something on social media, use the hashtag Sekou 30-day challenge, because that's how it all started. It started off as a 30-day challenge and it's evolved since then. So yeah, if you want to get involved, come check me, post something on social media, and we can make it a communal thing. Cool. And I also mentioned earlier on my show on Tally Thursday that we have pledged. We got over $1,000. We got over $1,100 pledged. So my goal was $1,000, and we've reached that goal. Let's just get that money in and divvy that money up. We can make some things happen for some folks.
All right. Did you hear that? The goal was 1,000. We're over 1,000. What do we call that?
Overflow.
We call that overflow. Overflow. So one of the acronyms for HERO that I created was high emotion radiates overflow. And that's what we're all about. We're about that overflow life. Overflow life. Congratulations, Sekou. That is just amazing. So I will be walking in solidarity with you on Saturday. Yes, I will be getting it in, and I'll see if I could snatch up some of my girlfriends to join me in doing that too.
That's what's up. And about your sermon, I just want to say that I remember when you recommended that book, Radical Forgiveness, to me. And I got to the part where it said, there's nothing to forgive, and I threw the book down. I threw the book down. I was so hot. I remember it vividly. I stood up and threw the book down. Now the book, I'm using the Kindle app, so the book is on my phone. So I threw my phone down. I was so hot. We talked about there's nothing to forgive. Whoa, that's strong. That's strong. And then I got to the part about the soul's agreement, and I was like, okay, that's strong medicine, but it's worth reading and worth taking in, worth ingesting.
Yes.
It's worth ingesting. And what you said about being caught up in the emotionality of it also speaks to what he says in the book. One of his workshop exercises is write a letter that gets all the the bile and resentment and nastiness out. Don't send it. Do not send it, but write it out and get it out of your system, and then live in the knowledge that it happened for a reason and there's nothing to forgive. Some strong stuff. And so thanks for the reminder today. There's nothing to forgive.
There's nothing to forgive. Just be grateful, right? Say thank you. Say thank you. Yes. It's simple, but it ain't easy. But it is a principle. It is a principle for transformation. So something to check in with yourself if you are not moving in the way that you desire to move. Check in and see if there is anything that is stuck in the past. Yeah. Yeah. All right, y'all. I'll see you tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, as we wrap up the 5 principles of transformation. I hope you're doing well. Have a wonderful day. Peace and blessings. Oh, I see you, Lindsay. I see you. Yes, girl. Yes. Amen. I am speaking the truth as I know it in my heart. I'm speaking from what I know, from what I experienced. For what I have done. Absolutely, Lindsay. Absolutely. I shared when I first did the Radical Forgiveness series, the forgiveness work that I did around my relationship with my father. Huge, huge. It was a sea change in my life. So, yes, it is the truth. It is the truth. And if it's the truth for me, guess what? It's the truth for you too. Okay? All right, y'all. So peace and blessings, peace and justice. We're living life in joy. Yes. Connected to our yes.